everyone. As you come on, just pop in your name and where you're coming on from today. And I'm going to be sharing with you guys 5 really cool tips for fast duplication in your business. If you want fast growth, I'm going to give you the same exact strategies that I've used to build teams of thousands, and most recently to grow a team of over 300 people in just 6 weeks. And if you apply these 5 tips, you're going to have a lot of success. I'm also going to teach you how to handle some of the not so cool things that people tend to do online. I don't know why, but we do that with like spamming and putting out bad content and all of that stuff. Hey Chris, welcome. Okay, good. So let's get right into the content. Hey everyone. So tip number 1, and I'm going to go through these tips that I use very, very quickly. Hey Marie. And first is to make sure that your business is set up for duplication. Not all businesses are created equal. Unfortunately, they just aren't. And particularly when I'm looking for a business, I look for something that does not have a really long learning curve for somebody to get started. So I look for things that are going to be easy, that have products that people want, they're easy to demonstrate, they don't require a lot of selling, telling, or explaining. And so once I've got like a product that I feel people can easily market, because not everybody's going to be coming to the table with sales skills or marketing skills. Then number 2, I make sure that I've got a system in place for really, really quick duplication. So if you're in a business and you hear questions like, what do I say to people? Or how do I give people the information? Or how would I explain the business to someone? That's kind of a clue that you don't have a good system set up for people to be able to share the business. Hey Debbie, hey Laurel, hey Eric. I appreciate you guys being here, and feel free to comment or ask any questions as we go along. So number 2 is you want to make sure that you have, hey Sarah, I hope you're feeling better, girl. Aw, thank you, you're so sweet. So tip number 2 is make sure you've got a really streamlined way for your new people to share the business, share the opportunity, and share the products. So there should be some automation in your business. If you're expecting them to figure out how to present or how to do a home party or any of that on their own, it's going to be really, really difficult, and you're going to find that you don't have a lot of duplication. Hey Anna, and okay, so that's tip number 1 and tip number 2. So tip number 1 is make sure you're in a business that is really set up for fast duplication. Number 2, make sure that you have a way for your new people to very quickly duplicate. Number 3, make sure that you've got a good communication system in for your team, because you want to be communicating with them on an ongoing basis, pretty much daily, if not multiple times a day, to get them inspired and fired up and going and revving and roaring and just making things happen, right? And as a leader, you're the person who's really creating that kind of magic with your team until you start attracting a lot of leaders to your organization. So what I use is I use Facebook Messenger. I've got a bunch of my people piled on there, and then I also use email. And email is a great way to communicate as well. I don't recommend text or anything like that because sometimes the group text can get really annoying. I've used WhatsApp, but I don't know. I like Facebook Messenger a lot. It's working really, really well for the team. So that's a great way to keep people connected. Zoom is another great way. Anna, you're right. I do my calls on Zoom every week. I do a rank up call to get people inspired and get their goals and like know what it is that they want to achieve so I can back them up and be behind them on it. So that's tip number 3. Tip number 4, and this is one that I personally love, and you might love it too, and that is recognition. So you really want to recognize the people who are running, the people who are moving very quickly, the people who are making things happen, because that recognition that they're getting, that like validation of what they're doing, it inspires other people to step up their game and want to do more too. I also like to do lots of little games and prizes. One of the things that I give away, I don't have it here. Let's see. Oh, I do have it here. You guys are lucky. This is one of the things that I use in my business. It's the High Achievers Playbook. And I actually use this as a prize. So if I'm looking to hit a rank, or I notice that my volume's down or something like that, I will send a message out to my team and I'll create a game. And a game that I often play is like they can win one of these. Now, if you buy it online, it's like 40 bucks. So it's, you know, quite a deal. Or you can do other little things like these are really cute, like little bags like this. Like I personally love these things. This is my newest one. I travel a lot, so I use little things like this in my travel bag. So you can do lots of cool things like that. So make sure that you're creating like games or prizes and using a lot of edification, a lot of really celebrating the people that are having successes. The other thing that I will tell you with this is kind of a bonus tip because it's not tip number 5. But your little bonus tip 5A or whatever you want to call it. So tip 5A is get videos from your people. One of my people, Jenny, said that my middle name is, can you make me a video of that? Because every time she calls me with like a success, I'm like, hey, can you make me a video of that? And why do I do that? I do it because I send it out in my promos. She just did a video, which I'll post online after this Facebook Live, for me where she signed up 6 people last week. And that's like more success than she's ever had. So, of course, when people are having wins like that, you want to get it on video. Okay, tip number 5, and I don't know if you guys can guess this one or not, but it's one of the most important tips I could possibly ever give you on how to create duplication in your business. Do you guys have any idea? It involves traveling. I'll tell you that. You can put it down. Hey, Shanti. So tip number 5 to create duplication is you have to get your people to live events. Period. End of story. The reason for that, and I'll give you a couple of reasons, and you guys can put in the comments your successes at live events, your wins, your aha moments. Hey, Laurie. So you have to get your people to live events. The very first live event that I went to back in 2002, I was brand new in the business. I was still teaching high school. I was making $26,000 a year. I stretched myself as thin as somebody can possibly stretch themselves. And I went to this outrageous, extravagant event in the Bahamas, of all places. And at that event, I got to sit down with all the leaders in that company. I got to pick their brains. They told me exactly what they were doing. They told me their DMO, like their daily method of operation. They told me where they were getting their leads from, how they were communicating with those leads. They literally laid out all of their secrets. On top of it, I actually got to have dinner with Bob Proctor, like literally sitting at the table next to him, which was the coolest thing ever. If you don't know Bob Proctor, he created The Secret, right? So he's a really, really great MLM sales trainer, and I got to hang out with him for the night and pick his brain. And it was all because I showed up at the event. At the next event, I had a team of people that I brought with me, and those people became the leaders and the movers and shakers of my organization. And we went on that next year to make almost $1 million. So the reality of you being at every event and you bringing a team to every event is that's going to create momentum in your business. In the company that I'm with right now, I went to my first event back in, let's see, it's July. When was that? March, I think. And I actually had a corporate gig, a corporate event consulting in Orlando. We drove down to Miami to go to this event. I had 3 team members there. I had just literally started. I had 3 team members there, and those 3 people became my most valuable assets on my team. And that's created a tremendous amount of momentum. So even if you're going to an event and you have 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 people, it doesn't matter because that grew my team to hundreds and hundreds of people. Now I'm going to an event and I've got 100 people from the team going, right? So that's the type of results that you can create very, very quickly. So what else? So those are your 5 tips. Tip number 1 is make sure that you are in a business that can create duplication. And if you are wondering about that, you want to just have like one on-ramp, one. If you have a lot of different products in your company, that's okay. I prefer to not be in companies that have tons of products because it's very overwhelming for me personally. But If you do, then you want to pick one on-ramp, one very simple on-ramp that is your on-ramp. For number 2, you want to make sure that you've got a runway for your new people to run on, right? You want them to be able to like rev up the engines and just fly, so they should know what to send to people, how to communicate with people, and then how to sign people up. And then, what did I give you for number 3? I don't remember. You'll have to watch the replay for number 3. And then number 4 is, number 3 was communication. Always be communicating with your team. Number 4, obviously I'm doing this from my brain, not from a piece of paper. And then number 4 is you want to create games and prizes for your people, because that creates a lot of momentum and excitement. And then number 5 is you want to always be at the events. And ultimately, you just want to create a lot of fun and excitement for your team. I love what I do. I love my team. They're amazing. I love helping people. I love inspiring people to be successful. And one of the reasons my team members have success or have a lot of success is because we create an energy and a vibe throughout the team that just carries it forward, right? So that's what I've got for you guys today. If you love this, share it. Put lots of likes and little hearts and stuff. And if you're watching the live, you can put live there. If you're watching the replay, just put replay there in the comments. And guys, thanks for being here. There'll be a lot more coming your way. You guys are fantastic. And I look forward to hearing your successes as well. I'll talk to you soon.